Hello, friends. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here just to kind of wrap up season 1 for all of us. This brings us to the end of season 1, and I've been so thrilled and excited to do this first season of the show for you guys. It's been an incredible journey for me, learning all the stuff that I've learned from all these guests. And most of them are people that I've known for a really long time. But these are not the kind of conversations that I'm used to having with them. So it's been a really great experience for me. And I really, really hope that it has been useful information for you and a great listening experience for you. Through the course of this first season, we've had some amazing guests. I'm going to read them out to you because if you missed any of them, you should go back and check out the episodes you missed. So I'm going to read them in the order that we did them. Jonathan Simpkin of 604 Records, Bill Henderson of Chilliwack, Mike Fraser, mix engineer extraordinaire, Saffron Henderson, singer, voiceover actress, all the things, Craig Northey, singer-songwriter from the band The Odds, Danny Craig, who is the drummer in the band Default and a fantastic producer, Kelly Brock, who sings in the band Dr. Strangelove and also runs Van Hatten Talent Agency, Emma Higgins, who is a fantastic director and has done lots of music video stuff, among other things, Jeff Neal, who is the guitar player in the band Streetheart, Michelle Marquardt DeVoe, who runs the Speakeasy Cooperative, which is, how do I explain that one? It is a business for the business side of voice people. It's an organization that I've been really thrilled to have found, where they really focus on the business side of things. So for me, it says like a voice teacher, but it's not just voice teachers. It's some performers and all sorts of voice adjunct businesses. And there's phenomenal information and support and resources in that group. So well worth that one. Rob Hamilton, who is the CEO of Side One Band and also the guitar player and musical director and all the things. And we had a special extended mix with Rob because our conversation was just so juicy. It kept going. And so there are actually 4 episodes with Rob rather than just 2. And let's see, who comes next? We had Mark LaFrance, who is a drummer and singer, and he has sung on probably every 80s rock recording record that was done in Vancouver. And he plays in the band Cease and Desist, and he does stuff with Randy Bachman and all sorts of stuff. Jim McGraw, who is a really fantastic scoring composer. So that was a really fascinating conversation about a whole different side of the industry that, we don't always know about. Who did we have next? We had Jeff Zipp, who is a producer and is the guy who goes and records all the music on site for The Amazing Race and, some other shows and stuff, but super interesting conversation about just an avenue in the music industry that you would not have thought of ahead of time. I never thought of ahead of time anyway. Then we had Sherry Ulrich, who is, a Canadian legend, singer, songwriter. She's been in so many different bands as well as her own music. She's currently doing stuff with Barney Bentall and I'm blanking on the other person, but listen to the episode. There's so much good stuff in there. She also runs Bluebird North for the Songwriters Association of Canada. Then I had Chin Jetty, who is a singer and multi-instrumentalist and producer, and has worked on some, tracks for some huge, huge artists. He's got Grammy wins and Juno wins under his belt. So there was lots of good stuff in that one. I had Christian Legacy, and he is a dancer, choreographer, stop motion. He does all this stuff that's all like movement based. And we talked a lot about, from the point of view of a choreographer and musicians working with choreographers on live projects or videos or things like that. So that was super interesting too. I had Roger Monk, who, if you want to use the word legend, that really lands with Roger. Roger is a recording engineer, and he was the head engineer at Little Mountain Sound for a million years and does lots of like orchestral type recording now, among other things. And then I had Brandon Hart. Now, Brandon, we actually recorded Brandon's episode way back at the beginning of the, like when I was first launching the show, but we held it off until his record was coming out. But it just so happened that when his record did come out, they released, like 2 weeks ago, I think, they released the first single from the record, which Danny Craig produced, by the way. And the song is called Space Trash. And they went to like 500,000 views on YouTube in 2 or 3 days. I think we are not even 2 weeks into the cycle of that song, and they just hit number 14 on the alternative Billboard charts. So we're talking about someone who's really gone the DIY route with music. So he's not signed to a label. He's not going the signed route. He does it all for himself, but he's achieving some really great things. And there's some really great information to be taken from that bootstrapping kind of approach to things. And then we rounded out the season with Steve Dawson, who is a guitarist, producer, songwriter. He is originally from Vancouver. He's down in Nashville now. And does a lot of like roots Americana, that kind of music, but records differently than maybe we think of, where everybody's isolated and everything is different. He does a lot of stuff that's more like live off the floor, and it's a bit of a different recording process. And it was really interesting to talk to him about, the twisting, winding path along the way from here to there. And that brings us to the end of our season. So we've had, I think that's 20 guests, something like that, in this first season. We've got 43, something like that, guest episodes. Plus there were 1 or 2 that I did on my own. So there's so much great stuff for you to go back and listen to. And the best part is we are going to be back in September-ish. I'm aiming for September, but in the fall, with a whole new season. So we're just on hiatus for the summer, getting our shit together, and getting a whole new season of awesomeness together for you guys. And what I would love to know is this. Is there anybody that you would love to hear interviewed? Are there any questions that you wish I asked people that you haven't heard me ask? There's a link in the show notes at the bottom of every single show that you can click, and you can suggest things like that. Questions that you want asked, topics you want covered, people that you want interviewed, all those kinds of things. I want to know that stuff. And if you have found this season, the shows this season, to be, a really kind of great thing, and you found them entertaining and useful, first and foremost, I hope that they're useful. I hope that you will go to your listening platform of choice and rate and review, because what that does is it actually helps kind of spread the word and get it in front of more people who can also benefit from the information. So I would really love it if you will take 2 minutes of your time and rate and review. Make sure you're following the show. And, if you know somebody who you think would love this stuff, please share it with them. It makes a ton of difference, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So I hope everybody has a fantastic summer. That was a weird word. Fantastic. Fantastic. I hope everybody has a fantastic summer. And I already can't wait to be back here with you guys in the fall. So we will see you then. Until then, have a good